Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video I want to talk about the Canadian housing market, and this is going to be like an update. And for those that are wondering if buying a home is going to be a good idea, well, this information is going to come handy for them. And for those that are about to enter the country as well, they are going to have a huge insight on how the market is behaving despite this economic uncertainty. But before we get into the content, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you have comments about this video, leave those comments in the comment section below. So let's go back to 2019 to see how the market was doing back in November 2019. We can see that among the biggest cities in the country, living outside cities like Vancouver and Toronto, because they are historically known for being the most expensive cities in the country, we can see that there is an average of $400,000 price per home. So markets like Ottawa, they saw an increment of 15.3%, Halifax as well, and then we have Calgary that they experienced a drop of 1%. So overall, by the end of the year, the total transactions of homes in the country was up 6.2% compared to the last year, so compared to 2018. And the average home price raised to 2.3% compared to 2018. So because 2019 was a good year for the industry, the Canadian Real Estate Association expected that 2019 was going to be even better. They expected transactions of homes is going to be 8.9%, and prices are expected to surge 6.2%. So in January 2020, we can see, like for instance, among the Canadian cities, the most important ones, in Ottawa the market went up 18.22% again, so it was the biggest increase in the country, and followed by cities like the Greater Toronto area with 12.24%, and the Montreal area with 11.81%. The biggest drop happened in St. John's, Newfoundland, with a drop of 10.18% overall. So even at the beginning of this year, the industry was behaving really well, especially for sellers, because prices were going up. But by the end of March, unfortunately, the pandemic hit the economy of the country hard, and the government had to implement a quarantine, forcing people to stay at home. A lot of businesses were forced to lock down, and the housing industry also was affected because people were not going to visit their homes or homes to see if they can buy or not. So one of the things that the industry did is that they started to record homes so they can upload that video to the internet, and people can watch the home and they can make a decision based on that video and on the photos of the property. Personally speaking, I wouldn't like to buy a home based only in videos and photos. I would prefer to buy until I can visit the home by myself and then make a decision. But a lot of people actually bought homes with this method, which was good for the industry because their sales were not down to zero. Instead, there were some sales that actually helped the industry. The pandemic actually hit hard the country, and reaching unemployment rates up to 24.7% in provinces like Newfoundland, and the lowest was 11.2 in the province of Quebec, which is the province where I live. So you would expect that the prices of homes are going to go down in those months like April and May, because the demand of homes were down, because people were not able to go and visit properties to purchase them. But actually it happened all the contrary, because I was following some prices on the internet, two of the most important real estate companies in the country, and some of the prices, especially condos, were going up. it came as a surprise to me that actually a lot of them were being sold out. So basically it was still a good time overall for the industry compared to other industries. So by the end of May and beginning of June, the government started to lift some of these restrictions, and a lot of people were going back to work. A lot of businesses started to reopen, and the housing market also started to fully reopen again. So a lot of people that wanted to buy homes back in April, May, and actually June as well flooded the market, and they bought their homes in July and August. The sales transactions of homes were actually really high in those 2 months. They reached record highs for the last 5 years from 2015 up to date, and we can see there that this is what actually happened. A lot of people, we can say that the spring market transferred to the summer market and add up to the summer market itself. That's why we see that home transactions skyrocketed in those 2 months. Also, another one of the measures that the central bank of the country implemented is that they lowered interest rates in order to tackle the crisis. For instance, they lowered the interest rates down to 0 and 0.25%. It means that actually money was cheaper to borrow for commercial banks, and at the same time they were able to offer low interest rates for mortgages. So people seized this opportunity and they started to buy homes. That's why they flooded the market in those months, July and August as well. And that occasioned that the inventory levels went down to 2.6%, the lowest for the last 5 years. So it means that in 2.6 months at the current sales rate, all homes are going to be sold. So which is actually something very impressive despite the situation that we experienced in the second quarter of the year. So like I said, the fact that the central bank lowered the interest rates helped a lot to see this boost in the industry. Why? Because by the beginning of 2019, we see that the interest rate for a 5-year mortgage was 3.36%, and then it went down to 2.38% at the beginning of March 2020. But then when the pandemic hit the economy and the central bank lowered interest rates, the mortgage rate for a 5-year fixed mortgage was down to 1.9%. I know a couple of people that actually bought their homes back in August and they got this interest rate, 1.9, and the other one got an interest rate for 2.3%. Basically, it means that if you wanted to buy a home back in February, let's say, and the price was $400,000, instead of you would be paying $1,700 for your mortgage. But if you wanted to buy the same home at the same price in August, once the interest rates were lowered, then instead of paying $1,700, you would be paying $1,400 for your mortgage. So that's why a lot of people took advantage of this situation, and they flooded the market. So it will come as a surprise that by the end of August this year, the home sales have fully caught up to where we were at that time last year. It means that by the end of August, sales were up 33.8% compared to 2019, and the average price surged 18.5%. So it was a good market for either buyers and sellers. Sellers because prices were going up, because there was more people out there trying to buy a home. Because for instance, if you have one home and you have, let's say, 4 people wanting to buy the same home, the one that offers the more is going to get the home. So that's why prices were going up, because people was seizing the opportunity of low interest rates. And it was a good market for buyers because they had the opportunity to get a mortgage at a low interest rate. So it is as if nothing actually happened in the second quarter of the year. That's why home sales were even higher than last year. So some people say that home prices will keep going up because of the demand, but some others say that home prices are going to drop a little. And the reason why is because all people that wanted to buy a home already purchased their home in the summer market, so there will be less demand than before. This is going to occasionate prices to go down, but in the long term, actually, offer is going to reach the same level as demand. That's why prices might go down as well. But this is just like a forecast. Actually, we don't know what is going to happen in the future related to the housing market, but it is a good idea for you to stay updated if you want to purchase a home in, let's say, 3-4 years. But actually you can take advantage of the low interest rates, because actually this current rate is going to remain for at least by the end of 2021. So this is the information that I have ready for all of you. And remember, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you have comments about this video, please leave that information in the comment section below. So thank you for watching and have a good one.